Today's video is inspired by the seasonal treats that you can find at Disneyland during the holiday season. It's 2 macarons that you can find at DCA and at Disneyland. The first one is the MITTEN Macaron that they offer with ice cream, and then the Peppermint Santa hat that they have the chocolate peppermint filling in it. And I believe this one's in Disneyland at Jolly Holiday. Now you can fill these with whatever you want. You can make them your own, you can customize them, you can change them a bit. I just try to stick as close as possible to the ones that they offer at the theme park. And as always, the recipe and everything you need will be in the description box down below. Now let's get started with this. Start by sifting your almond flour. You're just going to want to try to get these clumps out, get all the chunky stuff out of it. You're going to want this to be as fine as possible. And then add in your powdered sugar, and then sift this with your almond flour. And put this mixture aside. Then you're going to want to get your egg whites, so just separate the egg yolk and egg white, and make sure you don't get any yolk in this. Now whip up your egg whites, and once they start to get a thicker froth to them where the bubbles aren't as big, you're going to want to sprinkle in your sugar into this. And if you want a more detailed slow version of how to make these macarons, I will leave a link down below as well so you can see the other video about this. Once you have added your sugar to this, just keep whipping that egg white well until you get stiff peaks. It's going to kind of be like shaving cream. And make sure to add your vanilla extract to this as well. And keep whipping those egg whites. And then add a pinch of salt. And keep whipping those egg whites. Once your egg whites are stiff enough, you're going to add this to your almond flour or powdered sugar combination and just keep mixing this all together. I've tried both ways of adding the flour to the mixture or the egg whites to the mixture, and I don't really see any difference. It's just on how you get your end product and how you combine everything. As you can see, I add my egg whites in 3 portions and then mix well. I don't do any counting and I don't do anything special. I just add this in and incorporate it before each addition. And here I'm adding that last portion and combining all this well until you don't see any more egg whites. I did do 2 batches for this video since I did the 2 different types of macaron, the Santa hat and the glove. You can also do 2 or you can do 1. One batch of this gave me enough to do a total of 4 cookies, 2 of the gloves and 2 of the hats. And here's my white batch. And now I'm making my red one. I whipped my egg whites and then I add the gel food coloring and added that in and mixed it well with the egg whites. And then I added this into the mixture as well in the 3 different portions. And that's my last portion there. It's all incorporated well and I put it in my bag with a circle tip. I'm using circle tips for both the piping bags. I do my white bag and my red bag. Here you can see there is my piping bag, my circle tip. Now really quick side note, I did the error of just doing right hand and one direction of the macarons. Make sure you flip your image or that you make opposite sides of these. I didn't realize this after attempting this recipe like 4 times. But don't do the same mistake I did and make them all face the same way. Do the left hand and the right hand and the left hat and the right hat. So you have your macarons facing opposite directions and it makes sense when making the sandwich. So I piped the red design of the mitten and then with the white I did the border just how they have it at Disneyland. And once I finished piping these, I gave the pan a couple taps just to get some of the air bubbles out. And I also added some mini ball sprinkles to make it look like the snow. They have the same design but they've used sugar crystals. Here you can see I did that same mistake again of making them all face the same way. Don't forget to make them face opposite ways so the cookie makes sense when you sandwich it. So here I am piping out the hat portion in the red. And then once I'm done piping the red part, I got the white and piped the border, the little end of the hat, and as well the circle, the little ball on the top of the hat. And I did these in the white. I as well added these sprinkles to this and some sugar crystals to give it that snow effect, and I tapped the pan a couple times. Once you're done piping, let them rest for about half an hour to an hour until they form that skin, and then bake them at 300 degrees for about 15 to 18 minutes. I made a couple snowmen with the extra white that I had, as you can see on the pans. I didn't actually get any shots of the inside when I decorated, but here is that chocolate peppermint frosting. I will leave the recipe in the description box for that. And for the mitten, I did make my own chocolate chip peppermint ice cream. Let me know if you want to see that recipe. I will post it, but you can get the store-bought one and just fill that in there. And here is how they look. The right one cracked a little bit when squishing it together. And here's a final shot of the chocolate peppermint macarons. And that's how easy it is to make these macarons. Don't be afraid to try and error. It took me about 4 different times and 4 different techniques to try to get these macarons down. I'm still trying to get used to the oven and everything, and we're at a higher elevation, so all that messes with baking. So just have patience and don't be afraid to fail if it doesn't come out the first time. I do also have a video where I show you how to just do the plain simple macarons, and I will leave that in the description box down below. If you want to see pictures of these macarons and everything I make, I have links down below to my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and everything. If you want to follow me, just go down there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy baking recipes, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below as well. If you want to suggest another Disney theme or any other recipe, leave it in the comments down below. And if you also go to Disneyland during the holiday season, let me know what was your favorite treat there. Until next time, stay sweet.